So, in today's lecture, we will understand what is sample size, what are the various factors that determine the sample size, and what are the things that researcher has to keep in mind while determining the sample size. In our previous lecture, we have understood what is sample. Sample is a small miniature of the population. Since in every research we cannot go for the census, so we have to select certain portion of the population as a sample, and based on these statistical analysis carried on sample, we just try to estimate our population. So every researcher has these question in their mind that how large should be the sample size, and is any sample size adequate enough to carry out the empirical analysis. So there are number of factors that determine what should be the sample size, and some of the factors that are mentioned here is the number of groups and subgroup within the sample. So in this section, this we'll just see that whether what are the factors that decide whether the factor size should be very high, large, or it should be the smaller sample size. So the first aspect is the number of groups and subgroup within the sample. If our sample or the population is such a way that it has less number of group and subgroup, then we can have a lesser number of sample size. If the population or the is in such a way that it has a large number of group and subgroup, then we have to have go for must have to go for a larger sample size. The second important factor that is that rules for the sample size is that the cost of sample. If we see that the collecting of sample and processing the sample data is expensive, then we have to have a lesser number of sample size, but definitely this will compromise our result also, but still keeping our what are the economic resources we have, so based on this we can go for the sample size. The third aspect is the value of information, that what is the value of the information that we want to collect out of the sample, and how we are going to use it. It largely determine our sample size. If the value of information is very crucial and important for any decision making, then we must have a robust and a large enough sample size. If the information's value is not that much great, then we may compromise with a smaller sample of size. The another aspect is the variability of population. If we see there is a high variability on the population, it means there is a more diversity in the population. The population is very heterogeneous in nature. Then obviously we have to have a more sample size, because we have to have all the sample that is must representative of all the sources. Then another is the time constraint, that any research that we carry out, and it must be completed within a time frame. Sometime it may happen that we have started our research today, and we are doing all the research processes, and by the time we come out our research finding, then the entire project or the research finding becomes obsolete. So taking consideration of the time constraint, if we have a less time within us, then we have to decide the sample size based on our time. Then the nature of data analysis, what sort of data analysis we want to carry out. It may be a simple percentage, or maybe a central tendency, or we want to go for a bivariate analysis, multivariate analysis, and at the same time whether we want to have a parametric test and a non-parametric test. Obviously if we will go for parametric test, then we must have a larger number of sample size. If we are going for a non-parametric test, means where the data is not normally distributed, but is still we are able to carry out a statistical analysis, so then in that case we must have a smaller sample of size. And the other factor is the degree of confidence. Degree of confidence and the sample size is directly proportional. If we want to have more confidence in our research finding, that obviously we must have a larger sample size, or vice versa. And this again supported by the size of sampling error. If we want to have a less number of small sampling error, then we must have a larger sample size, or vice versa. The another, there is certain determining factor of the sample size is number one is the rule of thumb. That is, Roskies in 1975 proposed certain factors that we can consider while determining our sample size for our research. If our samples, any sample size between 30 to 500 is being considered appropriate, and in case of categorical data, as of male and female, high, middle, and income group, then the minimum sample size should be 30 for each category or strata. And if we are carrying out controlled experimental research, then sample size should be between 10 to 20 is considered be adequate. The another method that we can follow is the blind guessing. The blind guessing, under this, the researcher or sometime he take the help of the expert, and then he just blindly guess that what should be the appropriate sample size he is considering or she is considering for his or her research. The third factor is affordability method, that is largely depend upon the cost factor and the time constraint also. If we have a less time and less money with us, then we must have a smaller sample size, or we can go for a larger sample size. And the fourth one is purely a mathematical or statistical method, based on different parameter of the G score or the variability and the standard error. We try to calculate the and figure out the what should be the exact number of our sample size. So, my dear student, in next lecture we will handle the statistical method of data and sample size determination. Okay, thank you so much.